The government shutdown continues right now. People are feeling the impact in the DMV and across the country.
Yeah, that includes millions in the federal workforce and the military and those who rely on government services every day. Karen Kafa gets us caught up with what we need to know right now.
Despite the government shutdown, some federal agencies have deemed certain services and employees essential, which means Social Security payments will continue. Air traffic controllers and TSA employees will keep flights moving, though without paychecks, and veterans can continue to receive medical and critical care through the Department of Veterans Affairs. The Department of Health and Human Services says the Food and Drug Administration will still respond to emergencies, but be limited in the number of inspections it can do, which experts warn could put the nation's food supply in risky territory.
If this goes on for a couple of weeks, that there could be food safety outbreaks that couldn't be coped with. Significant problems could occur in the supply chain.
The shutdown also stalling the admission of new patients to National Institutes of Health clinical trials unless medically necessary.
So if we're on deck for a clinical trial, that will stop.
The Department of Agriculture says nutritional programs like SNAP benefits can continue until funding runs out. The Department of Education says federal student loans will still be dispersed and borrowers are still required to make their payments to avoid default and delinquency. And the Department of the Interior says national parks will stay partially open, a move sharply criticized by park advocates who say it's dangerous for the public to have access, with more than 9,000 agency employees furloughed.
And Karen Kafa joins us live now. Karen, we know if this shutdown continues, we're not going to get that monthly jobs report that's usually released from the Labor Department on Friday. But we did get some private jobs data today, and it was pretty concerning. What do we know?
Yeah, Leslie, this was from the payroll processor ADP, which is typically a precursor to that Labor Department report. It usually comes out about a couple of days beforehand and gives some clues. And what ADP saw was that private companies lost 32,000 jobs during the month of September. And those losses were pretty much across the board. There were bumps upward in education with kids going back to school, and also healthcare, which continues to grow. But sectors like leisure and hospitality, trade, construction, business services, a wide range losing jobs. And also ADP revised their numbers from August downward when initially there had been reported a gain. So you put all of that together with what we are seeing in the federal workforce right now with workers furloughed and also the prospect of layoffs, and it creates a really dicey situation for the labor market.
Yeah, and Karen, we know a lot of folks at home are wondering how long this shutdown will last. The Senate is on break with no deal today. Do we know what's going to be happening between now and Friday when they do return?
Well, Lorenzo, when they return on Friday, hopefully it is more of the bipartisan conversations that seem to break out on the floor today that left some members of the U.S. Senate pretty hopeful. Conversations between Republicans and Democrats about what could be done about both sides. Remember, Democrats want to see an extension of those Affordable Care Act healthcare subsidies to extend through the end of this year. Republicans, for their part, have been saying we'll have that conversation later. There were these little conversations on the sidelines today that hopefully they could potentially work something out, but Republicans are insistent that they end the shutdown first. So they'll go back to the drawing board, regroup again on Friday after. Again, they did leave town this afternoon for the observance of the Jewish holiday. We'll see where this all plays out. But Lorenzo and Leslie, it's really anyone's guess right now. Some members of the Senate saying they don't expect this will be a long shutdown. Others saying this could go on for a while.
Oof.